Thanks for joining me today. And for our Wellness Changer Fall, today we're going to be talking about injury and how to recover from injury. And we are joined by a special guest and great and dear friend, Donna Munch. Donna is also a nutritional therapy practitioner. On top of that, Donna is a certified occupational therapy assistant and a licensed massage therapist. And she works with the athletic department here at the University of Texas. And she works with spinal cord injuries, and she has years of clinical experience, and she is just a fountain of wisdom on how to heal more quickly through nutrition and supplements, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So whether you are a hardcore athlete, your kids are in athletics, you're a weekend warrior, you're a CrossFitter who's consistently injured, this is your day to learn a little bit about how to prevent injury, how to heal from injury, and how to recover well from injury. All right?
Yeah.
So, Donna, in your experience, what is the best way to prevent, heal, do whatever with injury?
That's a great question, loaded question, because really there's three things there. You're talking about prevention, and then you're talking about if you actually get an injury,
Right.
what you want to do, and even following up post that. So let's kind of start with how to prevent injuries. First of all, obviously eating properly, doing the best you can on a day-to-day basis is what's most important. So you want to, load up with those leafy greens that I know you've spoken about before.
You know how we all love our kale.
Leafy greens. Our colorful vegetables, think the rainbow, all the beautiful colors of the vegetables, because that way you're getting a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals.
Okay.
All your foods with omega-3s in them, which would be like your fishes that we have here. Your nuts, avocados, eggs, a lot of good nutrients in those. The fats are super good for keeping our cells healthy as we're working out, and you want that good protein as well.
Great.
I definitely don't like as much of the starchy carbs when we're working out because they do tend to keep you a little bit heavier. If you're an athlete and you're trying to be able to jump higher, run faster, things like that, they might slow you down. However, that being said, I do like telling people I think a starchy carb is good after your workout. That's when you can handle it the best.
Okay.
So your potatoes and things like that, sweet potatoes.
After the workout.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Also, things that you just want to keep around the house when you're working out. I'm a real big fan of collagen protein.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you've spoken about it before.
I love collagen as well.
Talk about people all the time. It's one of my favorites. Collagen is our most abundant protein in our body, and it's what makes up our connective tissue. And connective tissue includes our muscles, our bones, our joints, ligaments, tendons, so all those important structures in our body when we're working out and just to move in general.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, the great thing about collagen is you can put it in coffee, you can put it in your oatmeals and yogurts, and it has no taste, so it's a beautiful addition.
The majority of the collagens are tasteless, so you can hide them pretty easily in whatever.
Exactly. And because I'm somebody who struggles with getting enough protein in my diet every day, it's such an easy way to get more protein in.
Right.
So a definite favorite that I like to keep around and recommend on a daily basis is the collagen. I know you had asked me about, is there things I like to keep at my house just in case I do get hurt?
Right.
Absolutely.
So like we all have a medicine cabinet, right? So in cold and flu season, you have your whatever for congestion or for a headache or whatever the case is. And so I had asked Donna, should I keep at home kind of an injury medicine cabinet? To which Donna says,
yes, absolutely, and I do that, and I recommend it to other people.
And what should we include in our injury cabinet?
Again, the collagen is always something you want to have, but my absolute favorite is, and from Biotics it's called Intenzyme Forte, but what it is it has a full array of what we call proteolytic enzymes.
Right.
And proteolytic enzymes are protein eating enzymes basically. And what they do, proteolytic enzymes are fabulous for two things. Number one, they're really good for if you have digestive issues. And if you take them with food, they're going to help with digestion. However, with injuries or with muscle soreness or fatigue, they are also really good if you take them on an empty stomach.
Okay.
Because they go in there and they bypass our stomach. They don't need to help with digestion because we have no food in our stomach. They go in and like little Pac-Man kind of find our inflammation and eat up that inflammation and help to remove it out of our system. And that inflammation is what can cause pain in our body, cause swelling, and cause pain on our nerves. So it's fabulous to have always on an empty stomach. So these are something you always want to use on an empty stomach.
So if you're going to use digestive enzymes for injury, away from food on an empty stomach. Otherwise, you're just helping digest your food.
Right.
So for an injury situation, away from food.
Away from food.
So before you go to bed.
Exactly.
How many hours after eating?
What I like to tell people is, let's say you just call me and say, oh my gosh, I just sprained my ankle on a run. What should I do? First thing I'm going to say is, do you have the proteolytic enzymes? You're going to tell me yes. And I'm going to say, have you eaten recently? And if you have not, if it's been an hour and a half to 2 hours since she's ate, you're going to take a loading dose. So 8 to 10 sounds like a lot, but you want to load your body with 8 to 10 of these right away on an empty stomach, and then go about your whatever the rest of your day is. And the next time you have an empty stomach, it might not be until you go to bed. So I always tell people, yes, right before bed and when the first thing you wake up is usually 2 good times to take these, because we usually have an empty stomach.
Sure.
And then if there's another time in the middle of the day, maybe between lunch and dinner, another good time.
Okay, so we have our loading dose of
8 to 10.
And then after that, how many?
3 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to say 4 to 5, but 3 to 5 depending on your weight. If you're a smaller person, 100 pounds, you might just do 3.
Right. But for your football players, you're going to do a little
They're
more.
Gonna do 5, 6, or 7.
So it's related to your size.
It really is your size. But don't be afraid to take, you're not going to do damage by taking that loading dose and by sticking with a 5 or 6 after that for several days.
How do I know if I'm taking too many and I need to cut it back?
I don't know the answer to that because I haven't had any experience with people having taken too many. I usually tell people you're going to take that amount for 4 to 5 days until that inflammation and pain has subsided.
Okay.
These are also great post-surgery. So if you've had a surgery and you know that you are going to probably anticipate some pain after that surgery, these are way better than pain medicine.
Okay.
I used it with my foot surgeries and took no pain prescription pain meds.
Love it.
So, but then yes, you're going to taper down after about 5, 6, 7 days. You're going to taper down to maybe once or twice a week. Yeah. So it's not something you take all the time, but definitely after an injury, or if you just had a really heavy workout. You're training for a marathon and you just had your Saturday long run, you might want to just go ahead and take that loading dose when you get home. Okay. So that you recover quicker the next day.
All right. And if you're in a contact sport and you had big game day, would you recommend after the game?
Absolutely. Great question. Absolutely. Any contact sport, whether it's football, soccer, actually any of your sports, after you've had that game, after you played your game, I would take that loading dose of 8 to 10, and then before bed, take 3 to 5, depending on your size. Wake up, take another 3 to 5, and then that might be all you need in that situation. Sure. Because it was just after your game and your body's used to it. Right. Yeah. Okay. And you're just trying to keep things at bay. That is one I definitely like to keep. Another one I like is something like BioLA. Okay. BioLA has white willow bark, which is nature's aspirin. It also has devil's claw, and it has boswellia. Boswellia is also frankincense. People know about frankincense. Yeah.
Great anti-inflammatory.
Great anti-inflammatory. This is it's honestly like nature's aspirin in a bottle. Headaches, joint pain, muscle fatigue, things like that. Great to have around. It's plants, herbs. You can't go wrong with something like that. Okay. Yeah. And then
anything else you would keep in your injury medicine cabinet?
I do non-food or supplement related is arnica. Okay. I like arnica creams, or there's a homeopathic that has little pellets. Yes. Love this stuff. You can find it at H-E-B, your grocery stores, or your Whole Foods,
Almost everybody has it now.
Fabulous stuff. About $10 for this, so it's very reasonably priced.
And topically, we apply that to any inflammation area?
Any inflammation, any sore joints or muscles, bruises. If you got hit really hard in your game and have some bruising, you can put it on there too. Okay. Yeah, one of my faves. Yeah, those 3 for sure I keep. I also do like to make sure I have broth. We didn't talk about bone broth.
We did not.
I like this on a daily basis as far as in our diet, but definitely after you get hurt. Bone broth has a lot of collagen in it, and it has a lot of minerals. So really good for bone health, really good for joint health. So great to have, warmed up. It's easier to sip on. It's easy to tolerate. Great stuff to have around.
Okay.
I know we have 2 types, but there's a bunch. You can make your own, or you can
Right.
buy some great stuff at the store too. Yeah.
And then people will talk about, will fish oil help speed a recovery?
Yes.
Okay.
Fish oils, anything omega-3, very helpful for our recovery. So really, taking a supplement form of fish oil is excellent. Getting more fish during that time is, more fish versus the red meats at that time is way better, easier to tolerate and digest. And things like flaxseed oil is also a good way to get more natural oils. And other thing too is magnesium. People are very magnesium deficient. So you know about Epsom salts.
Right.
And so you can take an Epsom salts bath, or you could take magnesium as a supplement.
And so the Epsom salt bath is your skin absorbs the magnesium, and it's just a way to take magnesium without another pill.
Exactly. And it's a nice way to relax because you're going to get that warmth
Right.
in your body. So you're getting to relax your muscles a little bit, absorb that magnesium, and you'll probably sleep a little bit better too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I guess one other thing we didn't talk about that we thought about talking about was just when to use ice or heat.
Oh yeah. So I've fallen. I'm working out. I've sprained my ankle.
Yeah.
First thing I should do is.
I recommend ice, and
Okay.
most people still recommend ice. There's a little bit of question about should you try to remove that inflammation or not. Yes, still believe that you should. There's still tons of research out there that you want to remove that inflammation. We go through 3 stages of repair when we get hurt, and the first one is inflammation. That's our first stage.
Okay.
It should only last 48 to 72 hours.
Okay.
The problem is when it lasts longer, and that happens with a lot of people these days because inflammation is a problem in general.
Well, and then you can't stay off it, and I keep walking on it.
Right. So you want to get that inflammation down a bit, and you're never going to, with ice treatments or even the proteolytic enzymes, which is super helpful with inflammation, they're never going to completely eliminate that inflammation that your body has put there in that injury. So you're not going to ruin any natural process.
Okay.
So definitely do some ice treatments, and that can be an ice pack to the injury area. I like ice massage, where you have a cup, fill it with water, and have it frozen and keep it in your freezer at all times.
Like the Dixie cups.
Dixie
you can
cups.
Keep peeling it down.
Right, and then just peel the top layer off,
Yeah.
and then you are icing that area. But you also, for example, wherever your injury is, think about icing above it too, because those muscles have been damaged as well.
Okay.
Or they'll have what's called like a protective spasm, and they tighten up in order for your body to inflame in the ankle. But eventually you want that inflammation to remove itself, or you continue to have pain and you can't weight bear on that.
And is it helpful to elevate it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because that will also naturally help to get that inflammation to move out.
Okay.
So the first 24, 48 hours, I like ice, whether it's an ice bath, ice cup, ice pack. After that 48 hours, then I like to do a contrast. And that's where I like to do my ice treatment, then maybe put your foot or whole body into an Epsom salts bath, warm.
Okay.
And then when you get out of that bath, put the ice pack back on for 10 minutes or so.
So nice, relax the muscle, but then remove that
You want
inflammation.
the ice is going to constrict the blood vessels.
Right.
So you want that constriction. It helps to kind of slow down that tense, that blood flow that pulses and hurts, and it calms it down, squeezes it together. And then when your body naturally warms up, the brain signals, hey, we need to send some fresh blood, some fresh nutrients to that area, and open it back up. And
Perfect. And then if I'm going to ice, do I ice for hours, for minutes, for how long do I actually ice?
Good question. If it's an ice pack, 10 minutes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, no longer than 10 minutes on.
I usually do an hour.
No, do like 10 minutes. I mean, you know, it can vary 8 to 15 minutes. I
Okay.
like to say 10 because
Okay.
most people will do a slightly longer
Sure.
than 10. 10 minutes on, but every hour do that. So 10 minutes on,
Okay.
take, you know, that 45, 50 minutes off, then put it back on. You want to
Okay.
be pretty diligent with it while you're elevating, you're
Right.
icing, and you've taken your proteolytic enzymes. We're bing, bang, boom. We are,
Right.
you know, taking care of business. Or the ice cup. What I like about ice cup is you can keep it moving. So you can ice cup a little longer, but you want to keep icing it until you get that nice red glow on the skin.
Okay.
And again, usually, like in the case of an ankle, which is really bony, you're going to be more productive for that ankle by icing above it, ice cupping above it, all that muscle tissue above it.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
I'm a person, you know, no pain, no pain. So I like to not move it. Is
Okay.
that detrimental, or should I continue to move it?
I think you should try to move it a little bit.
Okay.
To the point of where, I mean, if you're moving it and it's causing you excruciating pain,
Sure,
absolutely
sure.
not. But, you know, just like we tell you guys, you know, if you eat something and it doesn't feel right, then maybe that food is not for you. It's the same as if you move your sprained ankle and it hurts, then don't move it. But if you're just moving it and you're like, yeah, it's a little sore, it's a little tender, then try to move it and keep that range of motion going.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen to your body.
Okay. There you go. Don't be afraid of your body.
Yeah. I mean, we really, it's
Yeah.
really, you're your own best therapist. Listen to yourself. If moving it feels a little bit better, do that. I like to move it when we're elevated and just kind of do nice ankle circles, for example, with the ankle again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. While you're eating all your healthy foods.
There you go. And any other tips on what can help speed the recovery, or on the contrast, if you do something that would slow the recovery rate down?
That's a great question. Let's talk about on the contrast. Eating sugary foods definitely causes joint pain. I have clients who have told me I got them off of sugar, and in that one night they had something very sugary. They
Right.
were in pain.
Right.
So this is the time you don't want to have sugars.
Sugar does increase inflammation.
Absolutely. Dairy products also increase inflammation in the joints. So
Okay.
cut your dairy out at this point in time, and cut gluten out at this point in time. So those three things are what I would cut out.
And then
right at this
with
time.
particularly a joint injury, should I cut out nightshades?
Probably.
And nightshades are the tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, eggplant, all of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
There is a specific enzyme that can increase joint pain.
Right. So I think it's good to get rid of those at that time while you're healing.
While you're
and then you probably can add, if you
Sure.
know you're okay with them normally, then you can add
Sure.
them back in.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then just really loading up on all your healthful foods and drinking lots of water too.
Okay.
Joints need the fluid, otherwise you're gonna have you want a dry joint, or do you want a nice fluidy joint that is
Exactly.
hydrated?
And if
Yeah.
I'm an athlete and I'm I need electrolytes, right? You know, we all watch some of the sport drink commercials,
Yes.
which shall remain nameless. If I don't want all that extra sugar and the artificial color and the artificial flavor, what can I do that is going to help me stay hydrated, but that is natural, that has the quote electrolytes, and the electrolytes are salt and sugar. What would be a better
I
choice
love that
for
question.
me?
I'm glad you asked that question. I highly recommend people make their own sports drink. I kind of make my own every day when I come into work. I tell people I'm an athlete to the athletes, so I have to take care of my body. I
Yeah.
do a lot of this on a daily basis so that I can massage for many hours in a day. So your own sports drink, athletes, and then even
And the weekend warrior.
we athletic adults.
Athletic wannabes.
Exactly. Get your water, get your 20 ounces of water, and lemons or limes or both, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
Sometimes I vary it. Cut one, I usually do like 1 lime per 20 ounces or 1 lemon per 20 ounces.
Okay.
Squeeze the juice of that lemon or lime into your water. Get a nice big pinch of sea salt, because sea salt has all 80 minerals available
okay.
to us. So we're
Very
going to get
nice.
all our minerals from that. And then
And when you say a pinch, would you, if we were going to estimate it for the people like me, who I need a measurement, would we say
half a teaspoon,
quarter of a teaspoon?
probably half a teaspoon.
Okay, half a
I like
teaspoon.
salt, so
I
I
do
would put
too.
more. And you're going to lose a lot of salt when you're
Right.
working out, so
And as long as you don't have blood pressure issues or some contraindication for the salt.
Yeah. However, I will say you'll have less issues with this kind of salt if you have blood pressure issues.
Right.
Because there's no chemicals added to this. There's no
It's not
whiteners.
bleached, it's,
Yeah. So anyway, you got your juice of your lemon and or lime or both. You certainly can throw some blueberries in there or muddle some strawberries, any fruits you want to, but you definitely want some good flavor
Citrusy,
to it.
Yeah.
Add a nice pinch or half a teaspoon of salt. And then I like having any kind of minerals, trace minerals on hand. You can buy this, it's a concentrated trace mineral. There's also one called Self Food that you can get, and usually I think it's 10 to 20 drops. Drip, 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 drop. It doesn't really taste like anything, so it's not going to change your water. And you've got that, makes an excellent drink. If you are going to be working out for a long period of time, and you need sugar, you need a little bit of sugar for that energy, then you can add either a couple drops of stevia to the drink or a little bit of honey, half a teaspoon of honey to sweeten it up a little bit.
And when Donna's mentioned working out hard, that is not a leisurely walk around the block. No honey for you.
I'm talking about you just played a soccer game, and that can be an adult. I'm not talking about just the our college athletes, but you just played a soccer game, or you actually did run for 45 to 60 minutes, or you went for a very long bike ride, and you need that energy.
You've perspired a substantial amount. You were in your target heart rate for 30 or more minutes.
Right.
Then we consider adding the small amounts of the natural sugar.
Right. And a little bit's okay, but it's way less sugar than what you're going to get at your store-bought sports drink.
Right.
Too much.
And a better form of sugar.
Yes. And a better form of your minerals, too, that you're getting in there. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then any other, I want to have you explain the difference between, so there's different types of collagen.
Yes.
There's different price points too. Mm-hmm. So, it's depending on your budget and how serious you are in your particular sport, or how serious your recovery may be from a particular injury.
There's a lot of types of collagen. There's, I think, like 28 or so, but we only hear about 3. There's a type 1, type 2, and a type 3. The collagen that you find in our protein powders and our peptides is a collagen 1 and 3 type.
Okay.
Super good for kind of almost everything, and the price point is a little bit better. It's going to help with our skin, our hair, our nails, help a little bit smooth out those wrinkles if we're thinking about that.
Which is why we take it every day.
I'm 80 years old. How do I look for 80?
Me too.
Yeah. Good for our joints, our muscles, the muscle soreness, kind of that everyday thing. Excellent to have, great price point. Collagen type 2 actually comes from the sternum of usually a chicken. And it's a different type of collagen. Excellent, more so for the cartilage in our joints. And cartilage is kind of that protective coating at the end of our bones. So each, like so in a joint, you have 2 bones meeting, and they each have some cartilage around them to protect our bones. So this is the kind of collagen that helps maintain that cartilage in our body, and or hopefully build it back up if we're starting to lose it.
Okay.
It's also really good for ligament injuries, like if you had an ACL tear. So both on people and on dogs.
Okay.
Very good to use. It's a little bit pricier though, so if you just can't afford this, you'll do well to have that. And then I did want to mention one other thing, because I absolutely love it, but for our NCAA, non-collegiate, non-professional athletes at this time, because I think they're not really sure because
so there's question if this could flag or not. Technically it should not.
Right.
However, you don't want to be that person that it did.
Big fan of CBD oil. The studies and research are amazing on how it can help with pain, especially our chronic pain.
Right.
It can help relax you at night and get you to fall asleep better if you have some anxiety. A lot of people have anxiety at night, which can increase their pain, or vice versa. We don't know, one can cause the other. The CBD oil is great for my folks who have spinal cord injuries. They're going to live with some chronic pain here or there, so this has been a wonderful addition. Or you can find some CBD oil and things in topical. I love Skin Food, Life Root Botanicals has a wonderful thing called Hippie Heal, and it has the arnica in it that we mentioned earlier. It has white willow bark in it.
And
CBD oil, fabulous. Life with Botanicals. I love this one. For all those who are not in college or professional sports.
Right. So for, you know,
Yeah.
the people who are working out in the gym or,
Yeah.
or any adult.
Right. It's great. It's really good stuff. Oh, yeah.
All
I think
right.
that's.
Perfect. Thank you
Yeah.
for all of your time and sharing your great wealth of information. And I'll have more information on the website where you can look at what these things are and how to purchase them. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and we will discuss them. Or if this sparks any of your other interest of things you want to know more about, you know, hit me up and we will talk about them in the future. And hopefully we'll get Donna back with us another time.
Thanks for having me.
It was fun.
Good job.